up, world? So, this is happening. Good old 6-speed swap. We've been gathering parts for this for a couple of weeks, making sure we got all the stuff. Got a shift linkage, kind of cleaned it up, bushings, whatnot, slave cylinder, bolts, rear main seal, C-clips. This is a 6-speed swap on a budget. What does this say? Automatic drive shaft out of a Forester?
Yeah.
So what year Forester?
05.
Yeah. 2005 Forester automatic drive shaft. This is a 05 transmission, the 6-speed, obviously. And then he's got the 5x100 lug pattern, not the 5x114.3. So that's the main reason for the automatic drive shaft and this year transmission, because the splines for the 5x100 will fit into the front diff, and the drive shaft makes it work with the rear diff. Let's see, we also were donated a clutch from Dane. Thank you, Dane. And slowly but surely turned it into an STI.
Flex fuel.
Oh yeah. And we're also doing flex fuel, some E85 action. You got the base mat today, so I'm gonna be putting in the 6-speed and doing some data logs, getting that all squared away, and yeah, he'll get on the corn juice with me. All right, got the car in the air. Got everything sprayed down with a PB blaster. We're gonna start by taking off the exhaust and then taking down the drive shaft. Just got the drive shafts out. The one on the right is the original, and the one on the left is the automatic Forester. You can see quite a bit of difference. Okay, we got the passenger side axle removed. What I did was just undid the knuckle from the suspension and then undid the lower control arm little castle nut, took that off, and took a pry bar, just put it up against the trans, pried out the axle itself. Should just slide out real easy. Right now Troy's working on the starter, trying to get it loosened, taken out. And we're gonna do the driver's side and then start unbuttoning the undercarriage cradle, the trans, bell housing. We should be able to drop it down. All right, she is free. We're just undoing the ground on top of the trans. Basically, all we did after we took the axles out and the starter and loosened the shift linkage was undid the bell housing and then just grabbed a pry bar, pried it out, had the transmission jack underneath it. Whenever it became loose, threw the strap around it, strapped it down, and then just worked it back. A little bit with the jack, a little bit with the pry bar. So both transmissions side by side. Let's see, a few key differences. The shifter fork on the STI, it will have a rod, and on the well, it's a pull, and then no, this is a push. This is a push.
Yeah, it's push. Look at all the clutch.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the shifter fork on this is a push, and on the STI, it's a pull with a rod. Obviously, it's a split case. You can see right here, right here, right here, right here, you know, all along the side. the bolts that hold it together. And it's, I don't know, looking at it from above, you can definitely tell the difference. It's really skinny, and then you come over to the 6-speed, and it's just beefy. So yeah, pretty significant difference. Definitely gonna help him out with his power goals. The 5-speed just wasn't cutting it. Plus his clutch was slipping really bad.
As you can see.
Yeah, as you can see, all the residue and everything in there, clutch material. But yeah, I think that's probably gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna clean up some stuff and get everything squared and ready for tomorrow, and we'll continue then. Alright, I got a choice shift linkage. It's pretty bad. It's really rusted up, but got it for a really good price. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning it up. Already kind of got everything zip tied, and then did a pass on this backside. So, you know, cleaning it up. Gonna get it ready. Alright, that's progress so far. Still got to do this part, and we're also going to be replacing the bushings. Going to repack it with grease, make sure it's good to go. Alright, it's the next day. Alright, gonna get all this cleaned up, get ready to put the new clutch in. Show you a good view of what the bell housing looks like. All that clutch material. Clutch has been slipping for, I mean, ever since we came off the dyno in Florida, so about a month. Anyway, time to switch over to the big leagues. Alright, me and Troy just got back. He just got off work. Right now, he's working on the wiring harness for the trans. Just got the flywheel cleaned up. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Alright. Got a new rear main seal on. We got our clutch and flywheel cleaned up. Oh, let me get out from underneath here. Dave came by. Give us a hand. And we've got the wiring for the top of the trans done. We've got some assembly lube, good old ARP on the shaft. We've got some anti-seize on the throwout bearing. Kind of cleaned up the walls on the inside with a little bit of sandpaper, brake cleaner, all that good jazz. We've moved over the shift assembly. Now we're going to start putting on the flywheel and the clutch. Alright, so we didn't have a clutch alignment tool.
Thanks, Kev.
And we're going to make one. So here we go. I'm going to take a 15 mil deep socket and a, what is this?
8 mil. 8 mil, 9 mil, something like that.
This is a 5/16. What? 1/4 inch drive. This is a 1/2 inch drive. And it fits, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so this is what we got. Goes in like that. Bearing slides over. See if it works. It works?
Yeah.
Nice. About ready to go. Put a little bit of anti-seize on the fork shaft. Got our light situation set up. Gonna roll her in, jack her up, and stab it. Boom. She's in. We had to take off the cradle. And then we came underneath with the trans jack and slid it forward. We had it tilted at an angle to where the front of the trans was angled up and then the back was angled down. That way it was a lot easier to move in through the trans tunnel and maneuver into position. We also took off the pitch stop mount bracket right there just so it was easier to move it up. And that was about it. It really wasn't that hard. We just got it into position, lined it up, shoved it in there, you know, and it was probably about what do you think? Maybe an eighth of an inch, you know, between the trans and the block itself. So then we just threaded in a few of the bolts and slowly walked it on. Yeah, now we're just buttoning up everything at the top. Gonna make sure all the wiring harness connectors are connected, and that'll be it. A few other things: stab the axle, put the cradle back in, wheels, no big deal. Next time you see it, it'll probably be on the ground. Okay, so I lied. Go ahead. Oh yeah, baby! Filling her up with that Lucas synthetic gear oil, 7590. It's got a funnel going straight to where the dipstick goes. We're also throwing in some Trans-X Posi-Track limited slip gear oil additive. Gonna go ahead and put the whole bottle in. Alright, next day. Gonna work out all the kinks. Underneath the car, the drive shaft is rubbing on the exhaust. And then back here, there's a drive shaft cover that is rubbing. You can see the mark right there. So I'm just gonna cut that, beat the shit out of the mid pipe, repaint the drive shaft, and call it a day. Alright, got the piece cut. Gonna get it painted. Troy is fixing the seal down here. Axle seal right there. It's a little leaky, so we're just repositioning it. It was kind of pushed a little too far in. Alright, Troy got that axle seal fixed up like a boss. See, what he's doing is he's gonna put it in, right? And then he's going to take his hand and he's going to turn the axle like that and then just slowly work it in. There it is. Just like that. Just rotate it and work her in. She'll eventually give. But yeah. Got this piece painted, ready to go. The only other thing that we have to do now is we have to take off the mid pipe from the exhaust, and I'm just going to hit it with a hammer and make a little dent in it. That way the drive shaft will clear. Then button everything back up and we're good to go. We just dented in the pipe a little bit. Yeah, some of you are going to be losing your mind, I know, but it'll be okay. Not your car, not your problem. So there's the drive shaft. Just barely clearing the exhaust. And then this is the drive shaft cover. Got his headlights done. Hit him with some wet sandpaper, buff and polish. No big deal. power band a lot better. Yeah, boy! 6-speed swap. No drips. Everything clears. She pulls hard. Like a new car. I think that's gonna be it for this one. Appreciate y'all sticking around. Want to say what's up to all the new subscribers. Appreciate everybody checking it out. We'll see you on the next